A man does not stop caring all at once. He stops when caring starts feeling invisible. It looks small at first. An unread text. A cold kitchen. Another late drive home after work. And the strange part is this. By the time people notice, he is already gone inside. He leaves the office after 9. The parking lot is almost empty. A few cars remain under the white lights. His footsteps echo more than they should. He stands by his car for a second. Not tired exactly, just flat. Inside the apartment, the kitchen light is still on. A plate in the sink, a quiet fridge hum. No real welcome. He checks his phone, work emails, a group chat. Nothing that feels personal. There was a time he would still try. Ask how her day went. Start a conversation. Bring home takeout. Now he puts his keys down in silence. Opens the fridge. Drinks water straight from the bottle. No fight happened. No scene. No dramatic collapse. Just a slow feeling. That his effort enters the room and disappears. That is where it usually starts. Not in anger. In the moment, a man begins to notice that his presence changes nothing. At first he tells himself it is just stress. Everybody is tired. Everybody gets distant, so he keeps moving. Commute, office, gym after work, rent, deadlines, weekend errands. He still handles things, still shows up, still pays attention. But he starts seeing the pattern. He is useful when something needs to be carried, when bills need covering, when a ride is needed, when something breaks. But when he is quiet, nobody leans closer. Nobody asks twice, and that does something to a man. Not all at once, quietly, because men are used to being needed, not always known. So he starts reducing himself, says less, explains less, feels less, not because he wants to punish anyone, because he is tired of offering what nobody seems to notice. That is how detachment forms. It does not always come from rejection. Sometimes it comes from repetition, from being emotionally present, in a place that only values what you provide. The trigger is rarely big. That is why it hits so hard. For him it happens on a Saturday. No office, no meetings, no reason to rush. The apartment is quiet in that heavy way, not peaceful, just empty. He sends a simple text in the morning. Nothing deep, just reaching out. Hours pass, no reply. He cleans the kitchen, starts laundry, goes to the grocery store. Couples move through the aisles together, talking about small things. Dinner, coffee, nothing important. But even that looks intimate now, because someone is paying attention. He gets back home near sunset. Still nothing on his phone. And suddenly it is not about the text. It is about what the silence confirms. That he has been shrinking for months, making himself easier, quieter, less demanding. He has been acting like low maintenance is strength. Like needing little makes him easier to love. But standing in that kitchen with grocery bags on the counter and no sound in the room, he feels the truth land. He is not being strong. He is being erased in real time. And the worst part is this. No one even seems to notice it happening. After that, something changes in him. Not loudly. Internally. He still goes to work. Still answers calls. Still keeps his tone steady. But something underneath goes cold. Not rage. Withdrawal. He stops reaching first. Stops explaining what he meant. Stops trying to make things feel close. At the office, he sits in the car a little longer, engine off. Hands still on the wheel. Not because he wants to be there. Because going inside feels like entering another place where he must perform presence. He begins to understand something painful. A man can stay responsible long after he has stopped feeling connected. That is why people miss it. From the outside, he still looks reliable, still working, still functioning, still composed. But inside, care is becoming mechanical, a habit without warmth. And once care loses warmth, it starts turning into distance. Now the spiral begins. The part nobody names correctly. People think a man becomes detached because he stopped loving. Sometimes he becomes detached because loving started to feel humiliating, because every soft part of him felt badly timed. Every honest moment felt brushed past. So he adapts. Not upward, inward. He talks more at work than at home. Not because work is warmer, because at least effort gets acknowledged there. A finished task, a good call, a solved problem. Those still register, but emotional effort, that disappears without leaving a mark. So the silence grows. At dinner, in the car, on Sunday afternoons, he scrolls with the TV on, sleeps on one side of the bed like he is renting space inside his own life. At the barbershop, he hears other men joke. Same tired laugh, same half-hidden emptiness. At the gym after work, nobody talks much. Weights drop, heads nod. Everyone acts fine, and maybe that is what hits him hardest. How common this is. How many men are not breaking down, just fading out, not because they feel too much, because they learn nobody knows what to do with what they feel. The peak comes late one night. Back in the office parking lot, he sits there after another long day, phone glowing in his hand. A message finally comes through. Short, casual, almost weightless, and he stares at it. Not angry, not relieved, nothing. That is the moment. Not when he was ignored, not when he felt lonely, not when he first felt unseen. This, when the thing that used to hurt does not even reach him anymore. And in that silence he realizes something brutal. He did not stop caring tonight. He has been dying out in pieces for months. After that moment, life keeps going. That is what makes it so unsettling. He still wakes up early, still joins meetings, still pays bills on time, still answers with all good when people ask, still looks normal enough to avoid concern. But there is a difference now. He can feel the distance clearly. The kitchen is still quiet. The weekends are still long. The unread gaps still happen. Only now he no longer chases meaning inside them. He sees them for what they are. Evidence, not of one bad day, of a life where his inner world became optional, where his emotional weight stopped counting. And once a man sees that clearly, something in him becomes hard to reach again. Not because he wants revenge, not because he became cold by nature. He just learned what it costs to stay open where nothing holds you. That lesson changes the way he loves, the way he speaks, the way he disappears, quietly, almost politely. When a man stops caring, it usually does not begin with anger. It begins in silence, in the small moments where his effort stops landing, where his presence feels replaceable, where his care gets used but not felt. And by the time that silence becomes visible, detachment has already done its work. That is the hard part. The ending does not always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like a man sitting in his car at night, too numb to react to the thing that once would have broken him. And that is how caring ends for a lot of men. Not with noise, with quiet,